Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's Jay Burnham, and this is the real Jay Burnham Show. And I've got another great video for you today, and we're going to be talking about joining or not joining the BBB, the Better Business Bureau. There was a question on the boards about that I've been reading and stuff, and one of the questions that came up was, is it worthwhile to join the Better Business Bureau? Should we join the Better Business Bureau? And there was a lot of answers saying yes you should, and no you shouldn't, yes you should, and I mean it's pretty cut down, right down the middle, whether you should or you shouldn't. Here's what I got to say. There's a couple of things you should think about the BBB. The BBB is not a government agency. It is a private profit organization. They make money when you sign up, or if you need their arbitration services or what have you. They make money. It's a money-making business. Yes, it's a nonprofit, but even nonprofits make money, right? A lot of the presidents and the guys who own the BBB make a lot of flipping money, right? So here's some pluses, and so here's some pros and cons of the BBB. One, the pro is the BBB has a long-standing tradition of qualifying a moving business. They have what's called accreditations, and they have grades from A to F, right? Just like in school, they grade you from A to F. So depending on your responsiveness and so on and so forth, they'll give you a grade. They'll put your address and phone number and all that and who to contact and give you a grade. That is great because a lot of people look upon the BBB to look you up, right? Another thing about the BBB is that they do have what's called arbitration services. Now, you can use the BBB's arbitration services, or you could go and get an arbitrator. But by law, movers are supposed to have arbitration services available for their customers. This is just something you're supposed to do it. So having the BBB, being part of the BBB, gives you the access to their arbitration services free of charge. And because the BBB is providing the arbitration services, that arbiter works for you, basically, right? Which is a good thing because normally they're gonna say, hey, the customer's at fault, unless you're like really a loser and you really did screw up. However, they're gonna try to make it amicable. All right. So you've got that. The minuses, the cons are, one, they are not a government agency. Even though they said the Better Business Bureau, they kind of give themselves the government backing on it and so on and so forth. They kind of get it saying that they're a bureau, so kind of make it like government-ish, which I think is kind of shady. They're not a government agency. They're a private organization, for profit. Even though it's a nonprofit organization, they are making money. Two, you don't need to be a member of the BBB to get a good BBB rating. You can still get your name and your phone number and all that stuff onto the BBB. The third, your competitors might actually be members of the BBB, and if so, depending on that competitor's ethics, they can shut you out from the BBB or make sure that your type of company doesn't get allowed on the BBB, or you guys get a bad rating right off the rap. A good example of this was the leader of Beacons Van Lines, Mr. Hooper, Craig Hooper, I believe his name is. He joined the Chicago BBB as one of the board members, and he basically shut out all the other moving companies on the BBB. If you weren't already established on the BBB, he kind of shut you out, and then all the other guys, he just kind of like, if they got bad reviews, they just got, it was unlikely their thing. So I think that's a detriment. You get some guy who's just vindictive like that, could really ruin your company or your industry area, right? And it just did a bad thing. Two, the BBB is highly expensive for what they do. Really, all the BB does is take $500 a year from you and puts your stuff up on their board. But here's the thing. They'll put their stuff on their board for free, and they'll give you a grade for free. You know, the only thing you don't have is you can't say you're accredited legally speaking. So what? You're not accredited. But here's the thing. If you go to all the top moving companies, all of the top moving companies are accredited, right? And they are members of the BBB, and that's something to think about, right? If you're not accredited, if you haven't been accredited, you can put their symbol on your website that links to your BBB report, but you can't say that you're an accredited BBB member. You can just say, click here for my BBB rating, and it'll send it to your BBB. But you can't actually have the one that says accredited. So you got to make sure. And if you do say you're accredited and you're not, you can get into a lot of trouble for that. You can get sued and so on and so forth. So, but you got to take a look at it. Is it worthwhile? I think for you guys who are just starting out, no. I think you don't need to really worry about it right now. Go and just make sure you do the best job you can, get the best reputation you can, and just rock it out. And then when you have the money that you can afford it, like in a year or 2 years down the road, yes, I think you should be part of the BBB and get yourself accredited. You should become a member of the BBB. Involve yourself in the BBB if you can, and just work it from there, guys. But you don't have to, right? So if you're just starting out, don't worry about it. If you're established, you've been in the business for a year or more, and you can afford the $500, then become an accredited BBB member. It's okay. And in all in fairness and transparency, I am not part of the BBB. I am not an accredited member. I do have a profile with the BBB, and I do have a good reputation. I am not an accredited member of the BBB. That does not mean my opinion is invalid, right? Because if you look at all the top guys, they are all accredited members. And people still do go to the BBB to check you out. However, that doesn't necessarily stop you from selling your services. People will still use your services even if you're not an accredited BBB member or a BB member. All right. The one thing I did do is I called up the BBB, told them who I was, told them the address of my company, told them how long I've been in business, gave them all the information, and said, here, put this on your BBB. Here's my website. Here's my phone number. And guess what? They did. And it's really easy. And I paid no money. But I just said, here, this is for you. So if anybody wants to do it, they have access. It's just sort of a way. I just, at my point in time, I just don't think it's that important for my business. But it's definitely something we're going to be doing in the future. And we will be doing it. But right now in my business, I don't think it's appropriate. But for you guys, go for it. I think you should do it if you got the money and can afford it. If you can't afford it, you can't do it, don't worry about it. But make sure you at least have a BBB profile, okay? And have some sort of link that says, and keep your reputation clean with the BBB. And it's really easy to keep your reputation clean with the BBB. All you have to do is communicate. Right, wrong, or indifferent. All you have to do is make an effort in the BBB's eyes, and they're going to give you good recommendations. Even if you get a bad report, they're still going to give you a good grade because you communicated, you talked to them, you sent them emails, right? Whether you're in the wrong or whether you're in the right, they're still going to give you a good report if you communicate with the BBB. It's when you fail to communicate with the BBB that they start giving you the low grades. When you start giving the BBB the finger, then that's when they say, sorry, you're going to start getting an F rating. And then when you get an F rating, it's really super hard to really build it back up. So work with the BBB. If the BBB ever calls you, work with them, talk with them. Don't dismiss them, all right? Because a bad BBB report can and will hurt you, right? A good BBB can and will help you. Do you have to have a BBB report? No. Should you? Yes. Okay, guys? That's my 2 cents. Hopefully you guys got it. Let's see you rock and roll. Tell me whether Tell me on your side in the comment section or whatever. Tell me how it's going for you. Are you a member or aren't you a member? Why aren't you a member? And why are you a member? I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave me a message. Have a great day. Bye-bye.